Alright, so I just got done reviewing the Anakin Skywalker Sideshow Collectibles Star Wars The Clone Wars 1/6 scale figure, and now we're going to take a look at the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure from that same line of figures based off of the animated series, so that's why I'm super excited about this. Here's the front of the box, which I'm not a fan of the artwork. I actually like the backside better because it shows the figure, and I think it's just nicer looking. So on the backside, we get a look at the actual figure, and it's a pretty nice photo of the figure. Alright, so here's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, if you missed out on my Anakin Skywalker review, be sure to check that one out before this one so you can kind of get an idea of some of the things I refer to when I go through this figure here. So in regards to accessories, this figure actually comes with almost the exact same accessories as Anakin, except slightly different, of course. So first and foremost, let's get this out the way. We get the bland basic base and stand, no nameplate, no nothing. It's just black, and then we have Star Wars on the bottom. There is the crotch grabber. Pretty basic stuff here. So there's that. He comes with his lightsaber ignited, of course. And then we also do get the lightsaber hilt if you don't want it ignited, and if you want to holster his hilt on the side. The hilts are nicely painted and sculpted, so I have no gripes here. The blade is also a nice translucent blue, so very awesome looking hilts here. No issues here at all. Then we also do get a hologram similar to Anakin, but except for this time, we get Commander Cody. Here's the one Anakin came with, which was Ahsoka Tano. As for the hands that he comes with, they're pretty much similar to the same hands as Anakin, again. So we get the Force wielding hands here. Then we get these hands, which I guess could be used for the Force as well. This is more of Obi-Wan's signature pose with his little peace sign going on there. Then we get these calm hands, and notice how these hands are, of course, have these sharp edges. This is to give that animated design look, so I like that. And then we have the grabby hands to grab the lightsaber right here, and of course we get the pair of fists that are on the figure itself right now. Alright, so I went ahead and tugged down the soft goods because it seemed like they were kind of scrunched up around his neck, and that looks a lot better. And now you can get a closer look at this Obi-Wan, and you could just see his head sculpt. How nice it came out. I think this looks fantastic, and it really proves that those photos that came out, or at least whatever came out, I remember seeing people very disappointed posting pictures that somebody took or some video, or I don't know what it was, of the figures looking very crappy. And now that I have them in hand, I mean, this looks just as good as the Anakin. They look great. They really do look good. So big props to Sideshow for actually making some very nice head sculpts. Now what they need to work on is the joints and the body molds because they're just too loose. This guy suffers from looseness just like Anakin, and if you saw my Anakin review, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here, it's in different locations. Now Anakin had a very tight head sculpt. The neck was super tight, moving the head around, while this guy has a little bit of looseness on the head, a little bit looser than I really want. You get a little bit of a wobble going on there. I mean, you could still make him hold the pose. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a little too loose for my liking. Now, Anakin had very loose ankles, while this figure actually has tighter ankles. Even though it is a ball joint exactly the same as Anakin, he has tighter ankles. So I may not need to put any sticky tack here to hold it in, but if I do, then I'll just put it in there. But so far, he has not fallen over, not once. Anakin fell over in my review at least 15 times, and that is not an exaggeration. All of it was off camera, of course, I cut it out, but he fell back, he fell forward multiple times, and so far, Obi-Wan has not fallen, not once. So I'm pretty happy about the ankles, but I'm not so happy about the little wobbly head here. That bugs me quite a bit. So it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another with Sideshow. And these two Sideshow figures are my first and only Sideshow collectible 1/6 figures I've ever purchased. So this is kind of my first experience, but I kind of knew what I was getting myself into because a lot of people have mentioned their history with looseness and wobbliness and just quality control issues overall. And it is present within these two figures, unfortunately. With that said, though, aesthetically wise, it looks great. I mean, look at him. He looks fantastic. Now, compared to the Anakin, this Jedi robe is a lot more thinner and honestly feels a little bit cheaper compared to the one that they gave us for Anakin. So that's quite interesting that they went this route with this Obi-Wan, but it's very soft, suede material. It does remind me of the Hot Toy version, so I guess it's okay, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a little bit better quality in the Anakin Skywalker. So, anyways, here's just a little closer look at the figure. I know you've been admiring the head sculpt this entire time. I do like how the hood drapes down in the back. There goes the hilt, which does attach to his little clip here on the side, as you saw. I don't want to tug on it too hard, but you just kind of lay it there and it'll sit. But going back to the hood, something that I mentioned in my Anakin review is that I wish these, at least the hood part, had bendy wires, because when you try to put it over the head, it kind of floats up. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of messing around with, but you can pull off a decent look with the hood, kind of like that. But I felt like, or I feel like, a bendy wire would really assist here, weighting down the front end and just leaving it pose a certain way. So, but overall, I think you can pull off something like that. At least easier with Obi-Wan here. Anakin was a lot more tougher. Down to the boots, they did add details just like they did with Anakin, so I really appreciate that. Like all these sharp edges are kind of shaded in there, so it's really nice. Same goes for the gauntlet arms here. They have some dirt and grime on them, so it's always appreciated to see those details. Alright, so my next gripe has to go to the hands here. Uh, Even looser than Anakin. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of an issue, but one thing that I did notice with Anakin is that it kind of depended on which hands you attached. Each of these hands have their own ball hinge, so they're all kind of different. At least it was for Anakin for some reason. I had a few of them that were actually tighter than others, even though they're the same hinge. But these fists, holy moly, they are so loose. It's not even funny. All right, here we have these, and this one is a little loose, but they're not as bad as those fists. So again, it just depends on the ball peg. I don't know why some of them are looser than others. I figured they were all the same, but apparently not, because some of them fit just nicer than others. All right, so here he is without the Jedi robe, and we get this look. Now you can see his Clone Wars gauntlets there on his forearm. That looks awesome. So I mean, it looks fantastic. What can I say? Aesthetically, I mean, everything looks great. It looks pretty accurate. I'm really happy with the way it looks. Definitely came out as good as the promo shots, or at least the prototypes that I saw that made me pre-order the figure. So I'm glad that the final product isn't as bad as what people made it out to seem like in terms of looks. But you can see here the paint on the forearm came out pretty clean, and then we get the little comm link there on the forearm there, so you can get him to communicate with somebody there. So there's your look at him without the robe, and as I took the robe off, this thing popped off, and now it wants to be super loose. So this is another thing. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just one thing after another with this figure, or with these figures. It sticks, but then it's super loose. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just glue it now. But this is a brand new figure out of the box, so I don't see why I have to deal with this kind of stuff. Alright, so that head is a ball joint, but it does move up all the way, and it moves down, goes left and right, and we do get some head tilting here. So overall, the head movement is pretty good. The neck is not a separate piece, so just like Anakin, it's stationary, so it's just the head that moves around. But the barbell ball joint really allows the head to move, every way you want. Arms will go up, and of course this is without the Jedi robe, but this is about as far as it goes before it starts to stress the soft goods. It goes back down, in and out, about that far. And then we do get the little, well, there it goes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to glue that. We do get the butterfly joints, which is super deep and super nice, so I like that. We do get the bicep swivels. They're double jointed elbows, I believe, but since these hard clone armor forearm pieces are here, they're not going to really allow him to bend too much. This one bends a little bit more. So it is a double joint. I mean, look at that. It's pretty good. So I'm happy about that. Wrists are on a ball joint hinge, as we know, swivel and hinge. There is a diaphragm joint. There is a waist swivel. You can swivel the torso, you can tilt, twist, oh you wish. Kicks forward about that far, goes back down, in and out about this far, up until, you know, it starts again stretching the soft goods. So you can go further, but you're probably gonna rip it. You don't want that. Also worth noting, there is bendy wires here, just like Anakin, so that's nice. We do get a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and then we do get the ankles on a ball joint. They rock, they swivel, they do everything forward and back. So overall, about the same amount and types of articulation as Anakin. So here's just a quick side by side of the two brothers here. We have Anakin and Obi-Wan, both in their Jedi robes. So you can see the color difference in the robes, and I don't know if you can tell just by seeing it, but you know, this is a little bit thicker material than Obi-Wan's here. So overall, I think they do look good with the Jedi robes. I'm having a hard time deciding which way I'm going to display the two figures, whether or not I should do it with the Jedi robes or without. You guys let me know down below which way you guys think would look best. But most importantly here, what you can see is that Anakin does stand taller than Obi-Wan. They're both roughly at 12 inches, but Obi-Wan's just slightly smaller or shorter than Anakin, which is pretty accurate. Alright, and I'll cap it off here with the classic Obi-Wan pose. Still kind of working on it. Does the lightsaber go over his head, or does it go down like that? I don't know. I don't like blocking his face for the shot, so I'm going to do it like right there. But anyways, that's my review of the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series. Overall, it looks great. Of course, let's go ahead and bring in Anakin. We'll just put him in the background right here, looking kind of menacing, right? So, yeah, overall, they look fantastic, but they just aren't worth $290 after tax and shipping. Also, Sideshow shipped these two separately. They charged me shipping twice and they arrived to me at the same time. Are you kidding me? Like, they couldn't combine the shipping? That's another thing, you know? It's like, it's the little things. It's the little things. Just keep all that in mind when you're trying to make this decision. I think a lot of people are going to pass up on this, but then I can also see a lot of people being conflicted because these are such sought after figures and Sideshow knows it. That's why they're charging what they're charging. I myself am conflicted because of the amount that I spent. I think that's really what it comes down to, is the amount that you spend and then the looseness of the joints. That's the only thing bad about these releases. Other than that, they are pretty darn good. Now, they are nowhere near Hot Toys quality at all, so keep that in mind. I think these should have been $150 to $180, and that's it. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and while you're down there, hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. As always, everyone, take care, take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.